to get on here. But what I won't be doing is being on live long today. It is a beautiful Saturday. I have stuff to do. I just came from my vacation. 3 weeks of wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fun in the sun. But anyhow, this is it. It's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard and 7 o'clock on the West Coast. So I just want to let y'all know I am hyped to the utmost. Now, I've made a real grown lady decision that I'm just going to really do and be me. And I tell you, taking that vacation was so awesome. Like, awesome, awesome, awesome. And it's letting me know that life is good, but I need to use my time to really relax and unwind and just enjoy having someone to serve me, not having to clean up, just relaxing, eating great food, being in the pool, being in the beach, walking and being amongst the people. It's just a whole nother vibe. And I think that I missed it more because I'm like here, I'm here and um I just don't know. Are you ready for 2024 goals? That's what this is about. So I have to share some things. Now, I have one person on. One person on. Let's see. Who is that? Who is that? Let me know who you are. But anyway, being away, having 3 weeks like that was so much fun. And I went to 3 different places. I was in the country, then I was out of the country, then I came back in the country. I was East Coast. Now I'm back on the West Coast, and it was wonderful, wonderful. But I have to say, I learned a lot from myself. I was able to walk in forgiveness with some situations, and I made it very clear that 2024, I was not going to take all that baggage with me from 10, 20 years ago. And so I made a decision. First thing you do, you make a decision, and flew a bunch of miles to make that happen. And such peace. What a great way to end a wonderful vacation. I don't know if you could tell, but I did get me a little tan. Yes, yes. And the weather was in this 78 to 87. Some days it was 90, but very, very sketchy. Yeah, it was hot, hot, but the breeze was what was so great about it. And it just felt good to have the water and the sand in between your toes. And it was just nice and the sun shining, especially since it's really winter time. And remember, I live in Northern California. So when you live in the north, early in the morning, like it's 31 degrees now, and late at night, it gets down sometimes to the 20s. So, we haven't got to the 20s yet, but in Northern California, it can. People say, oh, you live in California? I live in Northern California. But being back, and oh, this was a fun fact. Not fun fact, but fun thing. It was annoying, but fun. Because I was going to all those warm climates, and then I was going to a cold climate. Of course, I overpacked. I've always overpacked, but I went like over. I had to do such creative things to not be paying so much money. First time I had to pay, but that was it. But anyway, I had to take a coat, like a long winter coat. How about when I did get back to the East Coast? It was cold, but not that cold. I ended up just wearing one of my friend's jackets the whole time. It was just like a little puffer little jacket. It was cute too. I almost wanted to slide that into my suitcase, but I was already overpacked. But anyway, I had to take one of my little nieces suitcase and put my suitcase in that, plus stuff my other clothes in there, just to be able to get back without paying. But let me tell you, we made it happen. But anyhow, let me tell you what's up with me. Now, as of today, I'm no longer talking about the uh, 25, $45 a week challenge. That can still go on. I will bring it up, mention it, but I'm not doing that anymore because it stifled my life. And I did it with you guys for 8, 9 weeks, and that's all I can do because that was my journey years ago, and I'm at another place. But I will, bring it up and mention it. But people now really, after 8 weeks, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you will get it. It might take you some more times, but those principles are the same. Make sure you walk in the store and say, do you really need it? Why, what will you use it for? And where's the resources come from? So do that, get off the computer, all those things. But what the real focus is 2024, your goals should be having a really sound budget. And I have a piece of cough drop in my mouth because my mouth is a little dry and I know I do a lot of talking. So I apologize, but I just won't be able to do this without this little cough drop. Anyway, so the first thing is the budget. Why the budget? Because that budget should be your litmus test to where you are, if you're positive or negative, if you're struggling, if you're paycheck to paycheck, or if you have surplus. So if you don't do anything else, take these last 2 weeks of 2023 and do something that you might think is so painful, but it's not. And we do not, in natural state, want to see our mistakes. You're assuming that your money is not there. It actually is. It's the way you're spending your money that's not there. So every job you have, every income, alimony, child support, your first check, your part-time job check, your overtime, every bit of money you have, write it down. What day it comes in, bi-weekly, once a month, the 15th, 30th. Be very specific. That's that one column. Every bit of money you have coming in, every bit of money you have coming in, okay? The next column, you're going to write everything that is going out, from your light bill to your gas in your car, your gas bill in your house, your electric bill. For Californians, your solar your solar bill. I pay $55 a month for those great solar panels, and I only pay $22 mostly for my electric bill. So that is so great. So we're talking about less than $75 and of 2362 square foot home. So that's pretty good. Then I want you to put your trash, because I pay for trash, sewage, all of that stuff, and write all of that down. Your cable, your internet, your car note, your car insurance. And if you pay these bills monthly, that's easy. But if you do something quarterly, like one of my rentals is annually, so I just divide that. I think it's $350. I just divide that by 12, and then I put it there. That's my sinking fund. So when I think there's this May. When May comes, I'll have that money. Yeah, I don't even think it's $350. I think it's like $150. It's something cheap. But anyway, my others are monthly. So the rental in Augusta is monthly. So I just pay that every month. They pull it out. If you don't have a monthly, divide it. Like, let me give you an example. Your car insurance is mostly every 6 months they give you a bill. I like to pay mine in full because they give you a little break. You get some deal off of that. So I pay that in full. But if you don't, or if you can't, go ahead and divide that up. Say it's $1,200 6 months, so that's $100. Is that right? I'm thinking of year. excuse me, if it's a 600, then that's $50 every, excuse me. All right, let me get back. If you're paying your note and you want to do it in a 6 months increment, and it is $600, then you want to divide the six into the 600, which will give you $100 a month. That's what I was trying to do. I'm sorry, I'm so busy thinking about the next thing I'm going to say. So that $100 a month, you will monthly take it out. So when the 6 months come, you will have that $600 for your car insurance. Why do we do that? Why do we have a sinking fund? So it's hard to come up with $600 if you're really struggling to pay. But if you do these principles and put the money away over time, in another account that is attached. So when it's time for you to pull it over, it's there. Some of you might not have the discipline, not being disrespectful. You know who you are. Put that money somewhere way, way far and away. So when that 6 months come, it will actually be there. We're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. I know I'm 54, I'm old, but that's one of the sayings, taking money that you have for something else and putting it towards something else because you're short. That is robbing Peter to pay Paul. Back in the day, people Kaizen checks. They used to write checks, and now you write a check, that thing is going through as soon as you hit the computer. Back in the day, you had a couple of days before it hit the bank for you to get some money to put it over there. All right. So now you have a good idea of what your bills are looking like. You've written everything down, and now you should know every month the total amount that you have going out. Your mortgage or your rent, your car note or your Uber fees, your cab, your subway fees, a bus fare, all of that should be allocated. The food that you're going to cook, any events that you know that's coming up. I like for people to have like an entertainment fund because it's really easy to pull from that entertainment fund than to try to pull it from your household money. Let's be smart this year. Let's take our time. Let's take our time and write that budget down. When you write down that you owe Georgia Power or whatever state you're living in, what date is that due? Is it the 15th? So if it's due on the 15th, you should say that it's due on the 10th. Always back it up 5 days because S is going to happen and you want to do good. Now, I like automatic billing. I just do, I do, because I don't want to think about it. Some things, if you're at that point and you could put a good bit of money in the account so you're already ahead. So say you have about $1,500 in your account that's extra. Go ahead and set everything on automatic payments. So now you're ahead, and when your checks start coming in, you're not just on the edge of payments. So, or you have another account where you link it to, and that is so if you overdraft protection, sometimes it's $5, sometimes it's $10, but at least you won't go over and that money will be pulled. All right. I'm big advocate as to why you're learning to manage your finances and you're going to do great. Take a deep breath. You're going to do great. Having some backup plans. Okay. If you're not down with me for putting money away like that, get your envelope system and do your sinking funds and that insurance that you're going to pay in 6 months, that's $600, that $100 a month, put it in an envelope, hide it somewhere. Get your little safe in the house. Do whatever you need to do if you don't want to put it in the bank, however you want to do it. But be true to yourself and know not to bother that money, okay? Now you see the date everything is due. Where is the money coming from? Now we're going to go over and look that we pay $2,000 a month of bills going out. But we only have $1,500 a month coming in. That's a $500 deficit. Where is that $500 going to come from? Don't be mad at me. I didn't tell you to choose that house, that car, those vacations, the way you live. So how can we trim the fat? Now, don't be on my live if you don't want to hear this, because everything that I'm saying to you, I had to go through it myself. No matter how much money I was making, I was spending it, and I was paying my bills on time, and I had extra money left, but I was just doing whatever I wanted to do with the extra money. All right? So, how are you going to get from 2,000 that you owe every month and 15 that you bring in? We got to look at what's going out. How can we trim the fat? How can we shave some of those bills down? I believe you got $500, and you know why? Because as Americans, we overeat. We could take that grocery budget and trim it down. I want to make you laugh real quick. I had a girlfriend that had the two children, and she put them on such a tight budget that it was insane. But they were able to do it. They were eating, but it wasn't nothing fancy. And they were able to get that budget down really, really well. And that's what you have to do. So we're looking for $500. Let me tell you where I would go first. I would look at my entertainment, my subscriptions. Now, the Netflix, the Hulu, the cable, what is it? The people buy the pay-per-view, all those different things, your gaming subscription, all this stuff. I promise you, you're going to get so excited. You're going to be like, oh my God, do you need all of that? So let me tell you what I use. I have a Fire Stick, I have Amazon Prime, and I think it's up to like 120 a year. So that what I do now is that's all I have for the last at least 10 years. That's how I roll. I don't have cable. I When I was doing my debt free 2.5 years ago, I got rid of Netflix, Hulu, all of that. But if you have a smart TV, you could pick up a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And if you have a computer, you can put the stuff from your YouTube and what they call it, scan it on the TV, in screen or something, how they call it. You know, I'm 54. I don't know all that stuff, and I don't have no kids around here to tell me. But I know on my phone, if I'm watching YouTube, I can hit. I think it's casting. So you don't need to spend so much money. And the other thing, I'm not the TikTok and the Instagram and the Facebook. It takes up so much of your time. If you was to just leave some of that alone and focus on how you can get these bills paid, okay? So getting rid of a lot of those subscriptions will at least get you $100. I promise you. Look at it. The other thing is, if you get rid of the cable and the Hulu and all that stuff, you really have $100. Because some people are paying like $200 a month for cable and all this extra streaming services. Just get rid of that stuff. Read a book about financial empowerment. That's what you should be doing. Now, the next thing I will look at is my cell phone bill. Some of you got these crazy plans of just so much stuff. Figure out what you need to do. If you're on a family plan, see if your job gets some discounts. We work for the government. We get a nice discount. Now they're giving healthcare people discount. It's a lot of discounts. Go back and start begging people and telling them, you need help, or you're going to just have to get rid of it. Now, I know we're not getting rid of our cell phone, but you have to let them know that I've been a loyal customer. Remember that spiel? I've been a loyal customer for 10 years. I'm going through something right now, and I was able to get that $20 a month. Now, you think, oh, $20 a month, that's $120 a year. I put that money on something else. Now, we're buying these new phones every year or every time something new come out. Forget that. I got a realtor guy. I think he called Hazel Eye Realtor. He still uses his BlackBerry. Now that's somebody just managing their money to the minute, okay? Stop worrying about John, Peter, and Joe. You $500 in the negative You owe $2,000 a month of bills and you only making 15. Come on, girlfriend, boyfriend. Let's get this SHIT together. Come on now. Stop stressing yourself out. Get rid of that stuff. And you have this eating out allowance that is so beyond me. Why the heck nobody cooking? You can do a salad, some steamed broccoli, and for you meat eaters, um, grill some George Foreman chicken or broil it or put it in the air fryer, and you're done. Or okay, let me tell you what I do. I do my peas and my beans. I love legumes. Any type of beans. Oh, I love, love, love it. The night before, I soak them. And then I keep rinsing them off, rinsing them off. Get all that stuff that gives you gas. And I will eat beans and some cauliflower rice or maybe some quinoa. I can eat that for like 2 days along with a salad. And it doesn't even bother me. First of all, I'm lazy. I don't want to cook. I'm getting satisfied. I'm drinking my water and my teas. And when I say tea, my non-decaffeinated teas that I drink with some honey, lemon, and that garlic, that fresh garlic in there. And it probably smells horrible to other people, but it's so satisfying. And when it's hot, it's soothing to your bones and everything. These are the things that I do. I have some simple life hacks. I don't I don't get fancy till I go on vacation because it's just me. I don't. Food is just food. Y'all just do too much about. Oh, my kids don't eat this. Your kids are barely making it because of decisions that you made. And you're teaching them that if they don't eat the high end food, something is wrong. Chicken is chicken. Beef is beef. Come on. You just need to be nourished. Stop with this foolishness. You are $500 negative to what you need. Now, let's get in that closet. What about all them doggone pocketbooks and clothes? There's $500 right there. We're going to go Facebook Marketplace. We're going to go on OfferUp, Craigslist, all those little places where you can sell. I told you the first time when I went debt free, I got $6,000 in 3 months of stuff out of my house. Okay. When I decided to move, which was 9 months year later, that I didn't know I was moving to California, I did it again and sold $9,000 worth of stuff. Let me tell you, it's in there. You know, your trash is someone else's treasure. So I'm trying to get you to be serious. Now, I'm not bragging, but I got to tell you, in 2.5 years, I have maintained my debt-free living, okay? But I did all this crazy stuff 2.5 years ago. And last month, and I did some extra this week, I have $52,000 saved in the last 6 months. Because I'm serious about this. Now I'm obsessed with saving. I'm just obsessed with it because I have this investment opportunity in 2024 in December, and I need X amount of money to be there so I can be a part of this elite group. Okay. So I'm focused. Let me get back to you. Let's get in that closet. Once we get in that closet, get rid of that stuff. It's the end of the year. You need donations to Salvation Army. So what you can't sell, let's clean up. Let's declutter. Come on. I'm your best friend now. I'm your ride or die chick. I'm trying to save you from yourself. I've been there. And I kind of want to cry because it's bringing this back to me that although we make all this money, we're not managing. And we always say, God, if you give me another job, God, if you give me a good husband, God, if you help my children. But then we don't go back and do right by when we pray and we fast and we believe. Get in that closet and get rid of that GD stuff. Get rid of it. Lay aside every weight that so easily besets you. Stuff. Oh, I have the most beautiful closet because it's organized now. Because I don't have a whole lot of stuff. That's what you do. Where you can see, okay, I need to wear this. When you have so much stuff, you don't even know to wear it. And just because you have an abundance, don't mean that you have made it. Because you owe John, Bo, the gas company, the light company, your car. You owe everybody in town, but yet you got all this stuff in your closet. Okay, preaching is over. I'm going to your garage now. What is the Sam Hill? Now I'm talking to myself. What is the Sam Hill going on? A couple of months ago, I sold like $178 and then I stopped. But I promise you, I'm going to make a commitment before the 31st because I got to, I need me some tax things too. I'm selling off what I can sell off and then I'm done. And then I'll have this nice, I want to paint my garage. I have this color that I want. And I have this little set that I want. I just know what I want it to look like. Get in the garage and find those bikes, those exercise equipments, all those clothes, tools, things that you haven't touched. You might have some stuff growing in there or some rats in there, probably some what do you call, not rats, it's mice. I shouldn't say rats. Mice and cobwebs and spiders and in Georgia, those water bugs love to be in those dark, damp places. Mildew clothes, that stuff ain't even worth it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Okay? The money, you're $500 short. I'm staying on task. I'm going to be all up and through you like a proctoscope. It is time to get rid of that SHIT, figuratively and literally. Now, let's go back. You went in your closet. You got a good $200-$300 worth of stuff out of there. The garage, I know you got $500 to $1,000 worth of crap in there. Let's go back to your bills when it comes to your grocery bill. This is what I tell you. If you're going to order groceries, I need you to get a realistic grocery list, okay? Do not go in there without a grocery list. That's why you're spending all kinds of money. And don't go in the grocery store when you're hungry because you just want everything. Everything looks good. If you need oil, you need to buy a big thing of oil, okay? When you need bulk things, if you have a family. Now, for me, bulk don't work, even though I still buy in bulk because it lasts a long time for me. But for you that have children and husbands, all that, you need bucks. Bucks, bulk. I said bucks. You need bucks, BUCKS, and you need bulk items. Buy things in bulk. And be true with food. I'm like an old lady. I hear my grandmother. My grandmother didn't waste anything. I do not throw food away. I have a problem with throwing food away. Now, if it's spoiled, okay. And then I get mad at myself. So what I do is when I see that day 3 is coming up, I'm like, am I going to eat this? If not, I'm going to wrap it up in a little something small and put it in the freezer. Because I live alone and it's my business, I will have 2 or 3 little containers or something. And one day I come in here, I'm like, don't want to cook. It's a Saturday. I'll go downstairs early in the morning and pull it out and put it on the counter. All right. And then it just unthaws. Now, if I'm going to eat it the next day, I'll just put it in the refrigerator and let it go from the frozen to the next state. And then I'll heat it up. You got this, what is it called? Oh, not the crock pot. What's the other thing? Air fryer. Air fryer makes everything voila. Don't throw stuff away. Please don't throw no pizza away. Now, I have a good friend. I kind of was mad at her the other day. I saw her throw away something that I was going to eat. And but I said, if I say something, she going to say, that stuff didn't out. So I didn't say nothing, but I was like, I really wanted the rest of that pasta. But she was just cleaning out. And I was like, oh my God. But anyway, I try not to throw anything away. So let me tell you a really good reason of helping you with your money. Before you go into Walmart, before you go into Costco, before you go in Kroger, Rayleigh's, wherever you go, you have to have a list. You need to say, this week I'm cooking lasagna, a soup, and some fried chicken. What do you already have in the house that can make that happen? And what you need to add to it. So you need some sides. So maybe you want a salad with the lasagna. That needs to be fresh. So that needs to be new. But if you got some frozen broccoli in there, you could use that. Y'all kill me with what don't match. People like in the morning, I don't eat this because I intermittent fast. I eat stuff that's not breakfast food for what y'all call breakfast, because everything that's breakfast, the way I eat, I can't eat it. The meat and the eggs, all that stuff, I can't even eat that. So when I eat on intermittent fasting, and that's what I'm bringing you back to, come up with 2 days a week that you do meatless. You could do Mondays and you could do Fridays. When you don't eat meat, that is a very expensive thing. replace it with some soup, okay? Because now you got your protein, um, and you got your vegetables. So I love barley soup. I just made, and now I'm gonna laugh, I do not care. I made the, when I came home the night from my trip, I started soaking some lima beans. The next morning, I made the lima beans and some quinoa, and I had a little bit of brown rice left because I really don't like brown rice, but it was given to me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna waste it. And it was in that little bag, and I had just a little bit left. And so that's what I've been eating off for 2 days. So today is my last day of eating it with a salad and my fruit. Now, talk about me if you want to, but I'm full. I'm satisfied. Plus, I've been on that crazy trip eating all kinds of foolishness. I need my body to reset, and lots of water. If you intermittent fast, that's one meal you're not eating. Or you can replace that breakfast with a smoothie. Okay? And you want to have vitamins and stuff that's in it. That saves you so much money right there. That's 5 days a week during the week that you're rushing to go to work anyway. You get that supplement and you drink a lot of water. If you're doing these shakes and stuff, people don't realize all that protein and stuff, it needs to be pushed and flushed. You need to be drinking some hot tea and some water all day because it's bulky. It's bulky. That's why you're full, okay? But you got to get it out. You got to let it get out. So keep drinking your hot teas and your water all day to push that through. Push that through. And if you don't feel hungry, don't eat. Now, that will save you another $100 a week. You think I'm lying? It will. Substituting that meat for 2 days and your breakfast. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. I don't care how big your family is, that will work. And I remember my mother and them, my cousins, my aunts, because it was just me and my mom. My aunts had bigger families, so they would buy, it was Doug Meat Shop on Deansbridge Road. They would buy a case of chicken. It was always leg quarters because nobody could afford no doggone breast. And they would buy the leg quarters, and my mother would clean them. I remember her getting all that fat and stuff, clean them, and then she would turn that what do you call it, the charcoal on, and then she would put some in the oven. She would grill some, and then she would put them in individual bags, right? And she would do that because it was just she and I, and she might put like 3 in a thing. That's 2, 4, 6, and we would eat off of that a couple of days because when she would take it out of the freezer, it's already an individual bag. But when you buy in bulk, you get better bang for your money. You have to be strategic with this. I know y'all saying, "Oh, Agent, I'm so sick of you," but I look at my bank account and I laugh. I look at my retirement account and I laugh. I look at the vacation that I just took, 16 days, and had a wonderful time just going and doing whatever. Come on, I want all of us to live this life, but we got to sacrifice something now for later. Now, I might be an extremist, but it takes that to get you where you need to be. Then you can start resetting. But right now, we got $500 damn dollars. Ooh, I'm not supposed to say that. $500 that we need to get some money because we're short. We got $1,500 or $2,000 in bills that we have currently, and we only bring home $1,500 a month. Where's the rest of that money coming from? Trim the fat, trim the fat, trim the fat. So that's what we're going to do. Now, your gas, you're going back and forth all over town. If you know you're going to the south side, wait to do all that on the same day. If you're going to go out and pay bills and order groceries, just do all that in one day and be done. But all this all over town, and this lady used to kill me. She used to be so funny. She said, such and such got a sale on paper towels, and such and such. By the time you run it all over town for 10 and 20 cents, the way gas is, now back then you probably could do it, but the way gas is, girl, gonna pay the extra 20 cents and get everything you need where you need to get it. All right. Plan being prepared. That's how you do it. Now, we found money in your closet. We found money in Hulu, Netflix, and your internet package. We found money in the garage. We found money on your grocery bill. All right. Do not go in those stores without a list. And leave your kids at home when you go to Walmart because they think it's their birthday or some religious holiday for them to get a new prize. If you can't say no, leave them home. Because if you're budgeting $100 a week for groceries, I'm using this because it's an easy number, and you go in there and spend $150, What the heck is that $50 extra for? That's why you have to say, okay, I need nutmeg, I need sugar, and I need some chicken, and I need the stuff for my lasagna. I need some sauce. And what else we said we was making that week? I can't remember. But all those things that you were making for that week, that's all you need. All this extra stuff. And another thing, I used to work at Kroger and I worked at night. So the night shift guys would always start stocking from the back of the store. Okay? Excuse me, at the front of the store because they would come at night. That way they could watch out for me. So the registers was there and those lines. So they would start at the front of the store stocking. So by the time they get to the back of the store, it's late and they could watch out and hear me, right? That was the whole main thing. But they would rotate. The new food would go in the back and the old food they would push up front, open the box and start stocking back there. I know y'all think that you was 16. Or how you remember that? I live my life by that same mantra. I pull my food up. I might not want black beans today, but I'm eating black beans because I got about 2 more weeks and it might expire. That's what I mean. You need to do it in your refrigerator. And who says that we need to go out to eat? I guarantee you, if you really hungry, that's why I like intermittent fasting, because you don't eat unless you're hungry. You will go in that closet, the pantry, your refrigerator, and you can make a meal out of what you already have. We just feel like, oh, we need to go to the store. Now, if you go in the store to get some juice and just add in some little things, that's one thing. But it still needs to be budgeted. Eat what you have. Your refrigerator should not be full and stocked. People did that because they lived so far from grocery stores and they didn't have transportation. All this stocking up, unless you live somewhere where there's a blizzard or coming. If you live in Augusta, Georgia, come on. We do get snowed in maybe once a year. No, once every 5 years, not once a year. And it snowed in, Georgia version snowed in because we can't drive. That's why we snowed in. We need to stay off the streets. And then we try to buy everything in the grocery store. But what I'm trying to say is, why do you have so much stuff in your refrigerator when you open it, you don't even know what you have? You only need so many coffee creamers, so many milks, and salad dressing. Oh my God, why you got 15 salad dressings? Y'all need to figure out 3 good salad dressings and be done. It's too much. And it's just wasteful. It's just sitting there. What I'm trying to say is be smart. Go in that cabinet and see all that crap that you got that's about outdated and start eating that. All right? Be creative. I make everything a soup. I'm telling you, I love soups. I just throw it all in there. I'll go in my freezer and I'll have a pack of this and a pack of that and broccoli. I put broccoli in regular old vegetable soup. I just throw it in there. I just do whatever I have to do. But don't let food go to waste and stop spending so much on food. That food allowance is way over budgeted. Like stop. First of all, we're gaining too much weight. Second of all, we're wasting food. And third of all, it is not realistic to have these unrealistic amounts of food on our plate. All right? You need the meat, 5 ounces, and the rest should be a salad and then a little bit of carb. All right? So that 1/4 of carb, 3/4 of salady type, leafy greeny type things, vegetable stuff, and then your little 5 ounces of meat. That's all we need. And if we don't drink a lot of water and stuff before we eat, then we're going to just eat. Get your nice glass of water before you eat, and then take about 30 minutes, then go eat, because now you won't just be forced to just eat. And then when you start feeling satisfied, not full, satisfied, drink you another water or whatever your beverage is, and then stop eating. You have to say stop eating. You might go back 20 minutes later and finish it, but at that point, stop. Because what we do, we just overeat. I saw myself doing that on vacation a lot too. But so let's do these type things to manage our money. I'm telling you, groceries is your big deal. Your internet service and also your phone plan. Some of y'all got just phone plan. I know you and your family might not get along too great, but it's easier to add a $30 person to your bill than you paying a $200 bill by yourself. Come on, y'all, let's get together and do some of these things to make it better. Now, what other ways can you trim? Sorry. I move my foot because I'm getting a little, uh, okay. So this is what we can do. Look at your bills. You've already looked at the cable and your subscription and things like that. But look at your car note and your car insurance. Where is it that you can make any changes? All right. Some of you, I know you might not like this. You might call your bank and say, look, I'm paying $500 a month. That's kind of, it's kind of hurting me right now. Is there any way this month I could skip a payment? I did that one time when I was doing my debt free because I wanted to pay my student loan off so much. So I did a skip a payment for that 1 month. And that money let me pay the student loan off. And I paid $25 and my car note was like $700, right? So I did that. And then I paid that car off in 8 months. It was $19,000 and I just paid it off in 8 months. I just wanted to be able to say I had something paid off, and that was my thing. My student loan was the first thing. It was only a little bit of money left anyway. But if you can't do that with the bank, so if you do the skip a payment, you're going to take whatever that money is and put it towards something else. But my real goal about the car note is if you're paying $500 a month and you're struggling, see if they can do something with the interest rate or see if they can do something about refinancing it so that you might pay it a little longer, but the payments is less because you need something desperately now because you got $500. But I tell you, I would not do that till I go in that closet and find me some extra money. Because even though you say, oh, I got $4,000 off of all this stuff that I did, now you can start putting that $4,000. That's $500 a month. So for 5 months, you're five short. Yeah, for 4 months, you are now good to go with the bills that you have. Okay, because you needed $500, right? So now I said you got 4,000. So that way you have 4 months that you're ahead of the game. All right, while you're figuring out all these other things that you want to turn off. I promise you, if you take the time and say, why do you need it? And talk out loud. Why do you need all that internet? You need internet. Why do you need all that cable? You don't need all of that stuff. So start trimming the fat. Once you get to the place that you see where your money is really going and what's important, now I'm going to really make you get pissed off. I want you to go back and look at your bank statements, every one of your bank statements for the last 3 to 6 months. You swiping. You just swiping instead of having your allowance. And I want you to highlight everything that was not a necessity in yellow or some neon color that just stands out. And then I want you to add the SHIT up and see how much every month you just spend it all crazy. Then you will know, there's my money. This is what is over there in Ross, TJ Maxx. It's at the grocery store. It's at the liquor store. It's somewhere, but it ain't in your bank account. It ain't in your bank account because you done spent it. And now the bill come due. Light bill, gas bill, water bill, car note, all this stuff is coming in and you're feeling crazy, but God already provided you the resources. You just chose to be all willy-nilly with it. All right. That's my get on your self today. All right. Forgive yourself and figure out a plan. The next thing you do is go back to that budget and say, okay, I'm redoing my budget because I got rid of Netflix. I got rid of this, and that extra $4,000 that you came up with, you need to put that somewhere. So now you can start allocating it to those bills. The next thing, go on your job and say, I need to get some overtime. You got a project or something you need to work. Is it any overtime? Talk to your boss. What do I need to do to get a raise? Some of y'all just so comfortable with being the cashier. Why don't you want to be the front end supervisor? When I was at Kroger, I was doggone 16. I went from being the cashier to the front end supervisor. I wasn't called front end supervisor because that was a title. It was the person that relieved the front end supervisor. So at night, I ran that front, and I was at Kroger. So when you wanted to write a check, cash a check, I was the person. You wanted a money order, all of that stuff. Then I got so highfalutin, they sent me upstairs, and guess what I was doing? I was the timekeeper. So while everybody was downstairs scanning groceries, I was upstairs in a quiet office, being able to do the time and attendance. At 17 years old, I was doing time and attendance. That job transferred me over to Atlanta when I went to University of Georgia. Didn't graduate. That's a whole nother story. I partied. But anyway, I went to the Kroger in Atlanta on Atlanta Highway, and I did their time and attendance. So do you see what I'm saying? You got to burst the door open for yourself. You got to be aggressive, assertive, not rude, but figure out a plan to make more money in your household. Get you a certification, but ask your boss, what do I need to do within the next 6 months to get me a raise? Bonuses. You don't even do the basic stuff. In the federal government for the nurses is satisfactory, highly satisfactory, and outstanding. People just get satisfactory. Hell, that's just Hades. That's just a bonus you missing out. Even if they don't give you but $200 or $400, that's $200 or $400 that you didn't have. But usually it's about $600, $800. But you won't even do your basic job above and beyond so you can get that. Come on, you're just sleeping on money. You sleeping on stuff. And then you get mad with the people that live next door. They house is all manicured. They got some new furniture, and you barely can pay the bills that you have. Come on now, to your own self, be true. Be honest. What can you do? Every job I've ever had, I always was increased. It was a baseline for the next place that God was taking me, because I was never satisfied. And when I say satisfied, not satisfied because I just want to make a lot of money. I want the knowledge to take me to that next level. Coming to work on time, doing what you're supposed to do, and taking projects when nobody else want to take it. When the boss say, I need somebody to do something, listen to what it is. Even though every job I had, I never had the skill set for it. I researched, I found a friend that did it. I called somebody that did it. I went on the internet, but I faked it till I made it. So I made it. And within 3 to 6 months, I was good at it, or even better, because I was afraid, because I didn't know it. I wasn't cocky. I had to be humble. And I just kept moving up. Okay. So do what you need to do. If you're in the nursing profession, you need to be trying to get a certification. If you're LP, you need to be trying to get your RN, ADN, the BSN, BSN, the master, whatever you need to do, or start your business. But I tell you, don't all these people starting businesses and don't have good acumen with their household funds. If you can't manage your household money, don't start no business, because you just add another debt, and you're going to take from the household to try to start a business. No, no, and no. Get your money right at home. Be a good steward of that, because it takes 3 to 5 years for the business to do what you want it to do. Now, if you're doing business like the internet stuff, TikTok and all of that, that's different, because you don't really need upfront money for it. You might need a little website or something like that, but that's not no big money. You can do that, but don't say you're going to go somewhere and do a brick and mortar. Okay, stay in your lane, boo. Get that $500, because we're in a deficit of $500. I might be all over the place, but I know you're in a $500 deficit right now, and I need you to find that money. You don't went in your closet. You don't went in that garage. You don't went all through your house, and you've done your phone thing and your subscriptions. Now you're working part-time, or you're working overtime. Getting a part-time job for 6 months to a year is not a problem, as long as you use all that money to put back into getting your household substantiated, that you're not in a deficit, that you have more money coming in, and you also have a $1,000 to $1,500 emergency fund. All right. That means you have control of what happens, because emergencies will come. Children will need braces. They'll need some more shoes. They grow like weeds. They got high waters on because they just growing so fast. Over the summer, they just had this growth spurt. Christmas is Christmas for Christ. All this other stuff y'all doing, buying gifts and doing all that, it's fine if you can afford it. But you don't even talk to half of them people. They don't even like you, but then you trying to give them a gift. And then your husband trying to show you that he done bought you this fancy car, and y'all barely can drive the one pay for the one you got. Who you trying to impress? Okay. There was this girl who used to dress so sharp at school. One day we went over to her house. She didn't let us in though. We play outside because you know you don't go to people's house. And the ball happened to go against the house, and I could see her whole dining room and living room was empty. But she had on the latest, greatest name brand stuff, and she's a principal now, big time principal in Augusta, Georgia. But they was fly, but they ain't have no furniture, and they had been in that house at least 8 years. But that's how people roll. Maybe they didn't want no furniture in their house, but they was fly. All I'm saying is don't be envious of other people because you don't know what they've done to get it. Some people been on their back to get what they need to do. Some people been on all fours to get what they need. People pay different prices to get what they want because they want to be in the know. All right? You don't have you don't have to have the face beat to the God every time. You can do your own makeup. You don't have to go and pay somebody $150 every time. All right? You don't have to have the latest and greatest outfit. Get you the basic pieces and you build on them and just take care of them. When you get home, get out of your clothes. People come home and they water in their clothes. Soon as I get in my house, the bra coming off, the clothes coming off, and I'm putting on some comfortable stuff. I cannot stand it because I'm a waddler. I like to lay on my bed. I like to lay on my couch. And you just don't do that. When I say lay on my bed, I do pull my comforter back. I cannot stand people to lay on the comforter. That's why it don't last long. You get stains, you're eating on it, all that. That's just my side note. But stop waddling in your clothes. As you remember when we was little, we had good clothes and play clothes. Get out them good clothes, put them in the dirty clothes, do whatever you need to do with them, and put on some lounging, nice wear, and be at home and be relaxed. But all this waddling in your good clothes that they won't last long, and washing them on the right cycles and doing the things so they will last. And when they start mending, go ahead and get it fixed so they can last. These are all ways to save money because if you have your few good pieces, when it's time to go, you look nice and you have what you need. Now let's get back to this hair, your nails, your toes. Good luck with that. I don't have the patience to sit. That is supposed to be a relaxing time where you go get your nails done. It's just become hurting people in and hurting out. Now you can go to the high end places and get that experience. But the everyday experience is you waiting in line for your turn. And one thing a friend of mine taught me, she's like, take a laptop, take a book, and find something to do. I don't have that patience. But you do need to keep your feet done and your nails done, depending on your profession. But if you remember COVID, everybody started buying the nails off the internet. It's 500 nails for like $20. And you get the glue. By the time you spend a good $50 on your startup, then you can do about $10 a month to add to that because the glue gonna last a long time. And then you buy the little stuff where you do your manicure, pedicure. Then when you won't have a big event, then you go down there. But do you know how much money you're saving? They even have some backup ones that if they pop off, but it's very easy to do. If my bougie office mate that likes everything perfect, she years ago, she did it when COVID came. And if it wasn't for big events, she did it for like 2 years. She does it. Doing her little nails, and she buys some that's already painted and some she'll paint herself. But what I'm saying is this can happen, and you can do that for your nails and your toes. Just get the equipment and do what you need to do. And then when a special occasion comes, you're going on vacation. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you're going on vacation, if you're in salt water and chlorine, you need to go get your nails done the week before because the chlorine and the salt water is going to tear the enamel and all that stuff off. And I don't care if you get the gel. That's in the heat and the water and the moisture, all of that. So if you want to enjoy that nail experience, you need to get it done at least a week before you go. All right. And then when it starts to wear off, you feel like, okay, I've got me 2 to 3 weeks. All right. I'm telling you, I've been there, done that. We call that treating ourselves, but you got to make sure that you're not in a deficit. So you're saying that my nails and my hair is more important than my kids having the light bill on and I'm not worried about something getting turned off. We have enough food. That's what I'm talking about. Now, you still can look cute. And even if you file it down and did your cuticles and just put you some clear on or a basic color, buy a good polish If you're going to do it yourself, buy good polish and keep it tight so it doesn't get what do we call it? So it doesn't um get hard. And if it does get a little hard, just put you a little bit of nail polish remover, just a teeny little bit, and it'll thin it out. And you shake it, shake it, shake it, and you keep using it. I'm telling you, that's what they do at the nail shop. That's how I learned. I know I seem like I'm like, oh, but these are people that are $500 not making enough money, and their bills are already there. So if you can't change something, turn them lights off, wash during the the nighttime, and dry during the nighttime because you're using less energy. These are the type little things that you do. But taking all these trips and planning all this stuff, and you barely have money, no. Well, I'm speaking to the people that are really struggling from paycheck to paycheck. Some of you that have vacation funds and you have your $15,000, 1,500 emergency fund, that's what's important. So now that you've got the extra $4,000 that you done found some kind of way, put that money away, go back to that budget and say, okay, I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay that. And it's all written on your budget, and you're smiling now because now you found the money. You're working on your increase on your job. You're working on a certificate or education. You're doing something to see your money change. But if you think that life is going to change by you just sitting there thinking you look cute or thinking you so in control and people think all this about you, it's going to be the same because you're not doing anything different. All right. Or say, I'm just going to downsize. I don't need this 4-bedroom home. Maybe we're going to get a smaller place. Some people just have to do that. I had a lady that had to do that. She just couldn't get herself together. And she went from a 5-bedroom home to actually a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. She got a little condo. And that was the most peace of mind because she was working 7 days a week. She worked at a nursing home full time during the week. And in the evening, she worked at another nursing home. And on the weekend, she worked at two. I mean, it was, and I was like, so you're not even here. You're not even here to enjoy it because you're always at work. So what's the fun of having this beautiful home if you can't do anything? So I'm gonna wrap up now because it's 57 minutes, and I said I'm not going over an hour. Find out what you owe. Find out what you have coming in. What can you do to bring in some more income? And have that budget written in the next 2 weeks because the first of the year you want to have your plan. We're not eating so much. We're going to do intermittent fasting if you're able to do it, or you're going to have your little smoothies for breakfast. 2 days a week, we're not going to have meat. And that means it's going to help us with our digestion and with our eating. And we're going to watch our portion control. And we're going to take less money for groceries. Because if this is all you have, remember, when your mama put your stuff on your plate, if that's all you have, that's all you have. You have your meat, you got your protein, you got a starch, and you got your vegetables. Your meat is your protein, and you got your carb of some sort, and then you got a whole bunch of green leafies. All right, that's what you do. That's exactly what you do. And other than that, you just work this process. I did it for 16 months. It might take you longer, but it's not a sprint. The marathon is where you learn. Now I've been 2.5 years, and I haven't regressed. I'm telling you, the next thing I want you to do is say, man, I got my $1,100 or $1,000 for emergency fund. I want to see what she's talking about this supernatural savings, because that's what I'm in. I am hyped. The other day I got my check and I was like, oh, I need another $1,500. And I was like, and I got me another CD. I don't be playing. I am addicted to saving. I'm like this. I'm a fiend for saving because I don't have the bills. And once I took that trip and still had all the extra money, I'm like, oh, that means I can save more. I can save more. I can save more. Let me tell you, I love you. I love you. I love you. But you got to start where you are. Use what you have and leave the results to God. Start where you are. You might be at a $500 deficit, but you're going to be the faithful servant. You're going to go to God and you're going to say, God, help me. He said, acknowledge him in all their ways and figure out, take your pen and pencil and write down what you're willing to give up. The time that you say, I'm going to give up this, I'm willing to give up this, I'm willing to sacrifice this for my mental state, my physical state, my emotional state, and my financial state, and for my family, God will show up and show out. Go through that house. You got stuff that's valuable. Get rid of it. You ain't doing nothing with it. Declutter, declutter, declutter. Get rid of that stuff. go on your job, ask for a raise, figure out how you can get a promotion, how you can get a bonus, get some overtime, get you a part-time job, do whatever. But every dime of that money got to go back on those household bills. If not, your labor is in vain. Your labor is in vain. Get your accountability partner and say, girl, this is what we doing this year. Whatever they say they're going to do, you encourage them once a week. You call each other. If they say that, just like what we do on here, but you have to get that allowance, that spending allowance, get that under control. All those things, that's what you do. So we're 2 weeks almost to the end of the year. We're going to make this happen. My goals are to finish my book and to start my podcast and to save another, I think I said I'm at 52. I want to have 75 by my birthday, 6 months from now. So whatever that is. So that's what I'm working on. And it probably won't be 75. It'll probably just be 70. But I'm working towards that. In addition, I have 3 trips that I have planned next year. It is a European trip, and then I'm going to Dubai and Qatar, and then I'm going to go to the DR. So I have 3 trips, and I pay my little layaway every other month. I put my little money on it. That's how I roll. And I save $200 every pay period for what? 2026 Super Bowl in California. So these are the things that I'm doing. So I have my goals. You get your goals together, and we're going to walk in love and encouragement. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Mwah! And Stacy says, thanks for the practical tips. I love you guys. Yes, Stacy, we got to just be practical and laugh at ourselves because we just be spending money and don't even know why we're spending. Have control of yourself before self controls you. Love you. Bye-bye.